It feels like I have been away forever. I haven't been home since July and now I'm back. And I am so excited. I'm especially excited about this video. Amy Miranda from Amy Miranda Makeup has asked me if I wanted to join in this collaboration. And I have no words to express. She is someone that I truly, truly admire, and I think she is a phenomenal makeup artist, and I learned so much from her. So I am over the top honored to have been asked to join in this collaboration. So I received an email from Amy, and it was to Lori from All That Beauty with Lori and to myself, asking if we wanted to participate in this collaboration with her, and we both said yes. I will leave both their links down below to what they're doing. This first video of our series is how to do a full face makeup without using any brushes, as you gathered from the title. And at first I thought, I'm going to put on all makeup without using a brush. Well, let me tell you how I'm going to do it. A beauty blender is not a brush. And I asked Amy just to make sure, and she said, no, it's not a brush. So you might think, well, why on earth would you just use that? Well, I'm going to tell you why. We went on a trip, and I am extremely organized when we travel. I have all my little bags with my skincare and my foundation and all of my makeup and my brushes. And as I am packing everything, my husband calls out to me. I grab the bag and I leave my pouch where I put all of my brushes. And when we arrived at Gettysburg and I opened up my bag, we were going out to an important dinner, my brushes were nowhere to be found. And the only thing I had was my beauty blender. And I thought, well, I could go out and I could just buy some brushes. Yeah, but I was on a no buy. And that meant no buy. And I only bought a couple of things. I spent, I think I told you in a previous video, like $47. And it was because it was at Kiko. We don't have Kiko here, so that was an exception. But I have plenty of brushes. And I thought, you know what? Back in the 70s, we did not have a ton of brushes. I didn't. Maybe you did. I certainly did not. So I said, well, by golly, I am going to use my beauty blender for everything. So if you want to see how I do a full face of makeup just using my beauty blender and not one single brush, just keep watching. Alright, I decided to go with the voiceover to make this go a little bit quicker since it is a full face makeup. I am using the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Illumination in Tan. And as you can see, I am applying it with the Beauty Blender. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit because I think we all know how to use the Beauty Blender to apply our foundation. Now I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Concealer, covering those pesky dark spots under my eyes, or dark circles rather. And I'm going to be using the Beauty Blender to blend it all nicely in together. And I'm just pinching the Beauty Blender in the corner just to get a nice little tip there. Now I am using the L'Oreal Brow Definer Pencil just to cover up some of the grays and fill in some spots that need to be filled in. As I fast forwarded that a little bit too. This is the Anastasia Brow Gel, And I use this because I have pretty heavy brows and I really need to set them in so they're not all over the place. This is the Anastasia Pro Pencil in Base 2, and I use this just to give my brows a more finished look. And I usually use a Real Techniques angled brush to blend it, but I am using my Beauty Blender. And again, I am pinching in the corners and making a fine tip in order to blend. I figured I needed a little bit of definition under my cheekbones, and this is the Smashbox Contour Pencil. And again, with the Beauty Blender, I am bringing it at upward motion. This is the Becca blush in Foxglove, and I know that there is a Beauty Blender to apply the blush. I don't have one. Every Beauty Blender is created equal as far as I'm concerned. So I'm using my Beauty Blender, and I did dampen it at the beginning with some MAC Fix Plus. This is the Smashbox pencil in Penny Lane to do my lower lash line. And I don't do the entire lash line, I just go a little bit about to the halfway mark. I'm just extending it a little bit past my eyes. I'm going back in with the Foxglove, and I'm using this as a pop of color on my lid. I really love this blush, and I thought it would be a great pop of color. Use it as an eyeshadow, think outside the box. And I'm using the fingers to apply a little bit more right in the center of my movable lid. This is the Laura Mercier eye pencil in Copper, and I'm using it in the inner corner, around the pink, and out in the outer V. Pencils are a great tool to use in order to use your fingers and the Beauty Blender, and it just blends out really well. And as you can see, I'm using my fingers just to blend both together so there won't be any harsh lines. From my Buxom palette, I am using Spoiled Sexy, and I'm using this to create a crease. And again, I'm using the Beauty Blender pinched in the corner. I'll then go back in and use my fingers to blend. This is a really simple look, but it works well, and as I said, I'm using my fingers just to blend it all. I usually don't use a setting powder, but I decided to use the RCMA to set the foundation and the concealer today. I felt it did look a bit on the illuminating side. Just wanted to mattify it up a bit and underneath the eye, and as you know, I usually don't do this, but I felt I needed it today with this concealer. For a pop of color, I am using Kiko Purple Mascara. With such a natural look, I felt that the purple would look nice. I'm adding with my fingers a little bit more of the Foxglove just to intensify the color a bit. It just didn't look it looked as if I could use a little bit more. It's always okay to go back and add a little more of, whether it's mascara or eyeshadow or
your lower lash line, like I'm doing right here. Just felt I needed to intensify it a bit. This is the Marc Jacobs pencil in black, and I'm using this for the tight line and my lower lash line. And my lower lash line, I only do halfway. Now I'm going in with the Urban Decay in Crisis. And topping it off with a little bit of Jouer and Sorbet in the center of my lips, top and bottom. Down comes the hair. And here's the finished look. Very simple, very easy.
I did it. Only the Beauty Blender and the fingers. Honestly and truly, that is how I got my makeup done while we were traveling. And we were in Gettysburg, we were in Virginia, we went to DC. We were all over in that part of the country. And I didn't have any brushes. And you know, I did go into CVS one day and I looked and I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I am going to do it with my Beauty Blender and the good old fingers that I used back in the 70s. So, why am I looking over here? See how long it's been since I've done this? Okay. Honestly, that is how I did my makeup when I was in DC. We really don't need as many brushes, and this is only part of my brushes, but as you can see, this is because I just love them. So, if you don't have a lot of brushes, don't fret. All you need is your Beauty Blender and your fingers. I want to thank Amy again, Amy Miranda Makeup, for asking me to participate in this collaboration. And thank you, Lori, All That Beauty with Lori, for collaborating as well. I'm going to link both of their channels down below. Please stop by and visit them and subscribe and give them a thumbs up. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they did. We haven't seen each other's videos. If you're coming over from one of their channels, welcome. And thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really, truly appreciate every single one of you. And don't forget, ladies, follow your passion, whatever it may be. I'll see you in the next video.